दोहरी सी जिंदगी हर रोज दोहराता हूं। कांटे घड़ी के, फूल लम्हों के, 2 अंकीय रंगमंच का पर्दा गिराता हूं। दोहरी सी जिंदगी हर रोज दोहराता हूं। 2 राह पर 2 मंजिलें पाता हूं।
My name is P.S. Chari, and I'm connected with the experimental Gujarati theatre of Baroda and Gujarat. The journey of balancing 2 different life in 2 different spheres of activity on a 24/7 basis is really challenging. Because when you walk into your office, the first thing is that you need to quit your office by 6 or 5:30 and things like that. And you are in a great rush to finish off all the job that is given to you. So there's hardly any time for you to socialize with your colleagues in office. So I did not become a part of the larger fabric of my office in all these years. At the same time, I used it in the optimum level because I did not waste a single moment. I did my job very precisely and perfectly without leaving no space for any complaints from our superiors or my bosses. And they were assured that if a job is given to Chari, he would finish it off in a time frame, and he will not sit a moment extra after his job has been done. Even in rehearsals and all, after the office hours, you come home straight. You have an hour or so to do your personal things at home, all the errands that are piled up for the day, and then you rush out to the rehearsal by 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. And in the rehearsals also, I have the practice of not talking anything except for my theatre work. Had I depended only on theatre, then probably I would have been dictated by the forces of the market. I would have had to succumb to so many financial pressures, and I would have taken up any kind of work that came my way. But because of the job, I did not have. At the same time, I must also acknowledge that I have traveled all over India to the remotest and the most fascinating places because of theatre. The journey of theatre has taken me. Apart from that, I started traveling abroad very early in my life. That also happened because of theatre, because I was a part of the drama department where the dean was invited to do workshops abroad in theatre. So he asked me to accompany. Initially, there was resistance from my colleagues in the bank, in a sense that you were subjected to snide remarks, certain kind of comments, etc., which were not very, very pleasing. At the same time, you are also fighting a battle at home, because at home people did not understand the kind of work that I was wanting to do. So they thought it was just a getaway, of running away from the responsibilities of the family and things like that. So and sometimes the colleague deliberately also, they put a hindrance, in a sense that the papers would carry a news item saying that today there is a play of P.S. Chari at certain point, and people would have read it in in the newspaper, and when they came to office, they saw to it, they did not cooperate, and a lot of things came when I was about to leave the office, and that put me into a lot of inconvenience and contrary. But thankfully, those were the days, they were not of computer, they were of ledger. So you could just keep those sheaf of papers pending for a day and then finish it in the next day. But when computers came in a big way, again it was a little bit of a problem in an office, because you had to finish everything within the deadline before the system, and your movement could be traced, that you logged in at such a certain time and you log off on such and such a time. And also I realized when I was doing theatre that theatre is never paying in the kind of theatre that I was doing. So I had to depend on a lot of educational institutes, a lot of social institutes, with whatever meager fund they had to offer. And that would have not been self-sufficient for me to survive with a family. Had I been in only doing theatre, I think I would have been very, very indisciplined. As far as my work is concerned, I would have been very, very whimsical also, but the corporate culture which I learned was through the banks by meeting a lot of executives, meeting different kind of changes that kept happening again and again and again. I have also gone to poet and young writers like Prakash Gowda or Makaran Musle or Bhavesh, Brijesh, Panchal, Bharat Bhatt, etc., etc. And they have readily written scripts for me without even asking what I would be able to reciprocate financially to them. In fact, now I have got so used to having this dual identity that I have started really reveling into this kind of dual life.